students. Now today we will complete our unit number 6, which is nothing but deterioration and repair of our concrete. We are already seeing the plastic shrinkage, drying shrinkage, deterioration due to freezing and thawing, as well as accidental loading, construction error, design errors. है ना? Now today we will see the what are the different settlements and movement can leads to the deterioration of concrete and how to prevent that settlement and movement. Okay, so generally there are two types of mechanism in the settlement and movement of a concrete. Number one is nothing but differential movement, which is and second one is a subsidence movement. Subsidence movements is only because of your if you are providing somewhat less member having a less length, and differential settlement is having a in a vertical direction, means it is having some difference. Okay, this is generally differential and subsidence settlement. There are generally two types of settlements. So various elements of structure are moving with respect to one another, which caused by the differential movement. If it is increases the number of members subjected to overstress condition, the cracks will be appear. Suppose if you are having your slab and the slab is continuously continuous freezing and having action, and also there is a movement because of heavy load construction. It generally this case is generally happen in case of your bridge or concrete road. Okay, the differential settlement and subsidence is always there in case of your bridge structure. So and always there are the abrasion is also there. So to avoid this, you should provide a proper subsidence so that the subsidence or differential settlement or the movement should not happen in your concrete structure, because as soon as the abrasion is going on your bridge or your concrete road, the definitely there will be overstress can be generated, which directly leads to the generator big crack to your structure. So single element of a structure such as monolith is isolated, is moving with respect to the remainder of the structure are caused by the subsidence. Is it nothing but because of having some less subsidence means kami pana, because of having some less amount of your structural member is directly it leads to the subsidence settlement. You can say subsidence settlement. Okay, in case of subsidence, the concern are not over cracking or spalling, but rather than stability against overturning or sliding. Okay, so there should not be happen any subsidence movement or settlement in your structure, because it is not only leads to the cracking to your structure, but it leads to the overturning. It may leads to, or it may cause to overturning of your structure, collapsing of your structure, or sliding of your structure. So it is a most dangerous type of deterioration of your concrete structure in case of differential and subsidence settlement of your concrete. Okay, so second one is we have seen the temperature changes. What are the different deterioration caused due to the temperature changes? See, the changes in temperature cause corresponding to the change in the volume of concrete. We know that contraction and expansion effect I told you earlier. So basically there are three temperature changes phenomenon that may cause damage to the concrete. So there are three types of temperature changes can be leads to any type of your concrete structural member. So first one is the temperature generated internally by the heat of hydration. As soon as the curing is start, as soon as we are giving the water to your hardened concrete, the curing will start. Curing start, then also the heat of hydration is already generated. So there is a first temperature changes which generate the internal stresses to the concrete, which directly leads to the volume change, and also volume change leads to the crack of your concrete. So second one is a changes temperature changes generated by the variation of a climatic condition. It is generally due to the climatic condition. As there is summer season, you know that the concrete will get shrink. Concrete will get shrink, means loss of moisture is continuously taken place from your concrete. So that will change to climatic, that is the temperature changes due to the climatic condition. Now the third one is the changes of temperature from the external source such as fire damage, such as fire. So the third one is nothing but your accidental case. Third one is the accidental case, but first two is the temporary, and the first two is a compulsory in your concrete structure, but the third one is a temporary. It may cause in any type of your fire damage, but as soon as you are dealing with your construction type technique, you should consider these three types of your temperature changes. Why? Because we don't know which building will take catch will which building catch fire or not, है ना? So you should take preventive measure before construction. You should take preventive measure according to temperature changes to the structure. So this should not happen. So how you can prevent this measure? So following are the internal changes. First of all, we will see the internal generated temperature changes. Okay. So the hydration of Portland cement is exothermic. We know that, है ना? So in large volume placement, significant amount of heat may be generated. The temperature rise is not uniform throughout the mass of the concrete, and the temperature gradient develop. This temperature gradient give rise to the situation that outer portion of your concrete losing the heat, while inner portion of concrete are gaining the heat. So if the difference is more, the cracks may occur. So this is known as the internal restraint condition. Generally, the internal restraint condition is only due to the heat of hydration effect. So remember this. And if outside condition, if outside hydration is more rather than the inside, so directly it will give you the big crack to your structure. Okay. Due to that internal restraint condition, the concrete mass begins to cool and reduction in volume can be take place. If the reduction is prevented by the external condition, the concrete externally restrained and cracking may occur. Okay. So what are the symptoms? What are the symptoms of your internally restrained or internally developed temperature changes which leads to the crack? How you can determine which temperature changes leads to the which type of your crack? So symptoms for a internally restrained condition is cracks are internally restrained will be shallow and isolated. Shallow and isolated means it is very small. It is not very big. It is a shallow. It is according to the width, not according to the depth. And isolated means it is a monolithic effect. It is a single effect. It is not having the branches. It is isolated. It is simple. Okay, single. You can say the cracks which are externally restrained will extend up to the full section. Cracks which are externally restrain it up to the full structure, while the internal is only restrain up to the shallow structure, means according to width wise. If the cracks is generated according to the depth wise, then it can be seen that it is due to the external restraint condition. And you know that what is due to external restraint, because of the outside heating effect and the cooling effect, that is generally due to the environmental effect, you can say. Now the third one, since symptoms is due to the temperature induced cracks are perpendicular to the large dimension of your concrete. Suppose you are dealing with a footing or you are dealing with your column having a size 300 by 500. If 500 having the cracks perpendicular to the dimension, which is a larger dimension, and which one is the larger dimension, you know that 300 and 500 is a larger dimension. So if the cracks is generated perpendicular to this 500 dimension, then you can say this is the this is the cracks generated due to the temperature induced for your third types of technique, which is nothing but your temperature generated due to the external source, which is nothing but your fire damage. This is due to the fire damage. So always remember, first one is due to the internal restraint, second one is due to the external effect, which is nothing but environmental, and third one is the induced crack, which is perpendicular to the large dimension, is nothing but due to the fire damage. Fire catch, if fire catch by your concrete, then you can say that is a fire. It is a temperature induced due to the perpendicular direction. Okay, so what you can take the preventive measure. So first one is the use the low heat cement. You can use the low heat cement. Generally, the low heat cement is always used in case of dam construction. Why? Because dam construction, there is heat of hydration is also take place in your concrete, as well as the outer side portion is continuously subjected to your water. Inner side is subjected to the water. So the outer climatic condition, if winter is there, the water will get hot. If summer is if winter is there, the water will get cool. If summer is there, the water will become hot. So the continuous environmental changes of that water pressure can continuously heat your dam one portion, your concrete dams one portion. So you should construct your dam by using a low heat cement. Remember this point? Okay. The placing of concrete as a minimum practical temperature. You can place your concrete in a minimum practical temperature. Generally, the temperature should not be so hot. If you are using so hot climatic condition is there, then you should go for different types of admixture, which is not leads to it. More heat of hydration should not be generated. Okay, so select the aggregate should have the more moduli of elasticity and low coefficient of thermal expansion, because we know that thermal expansion will lead to the direct crack to your concrete. So it is better to use the aggregate having low modulus of elasticity. Now, what are the preventive measures to be taken and what are the symptoms in case of externally generated temperature? So generally, the temperature difference leading to the concrete due to the volume change is caused by the external factor. As soon as you know, if you are placing a fresh concrete into your concrete cube and concrete will become hard after 24 hours, you will see the somewhat volume changes in your concrete. So this should not be drastic change should not be there in case of volume change. If there is so, then you can directly say it is due to the external generated temperature difference. So if you are taking an example, the pavement slab in a cast summer, if you are casting your pavement is nothing but your road surface. If you are casting your road surface in case summer, in winter, as a temperature drop, slab may be undergo temperature difference and would experience a shortening. It would experience a shortening, which is nothing but subsidence type of your differential. So if that slab will restrain, such movement would leads to the cracking. So if subsidence is there, so there will be definitely there will be the cracking, because you are casting your slab some part in summer and some part in a winter. So there is a drastic temperature change between these. So directly it will go for the drastic change. It will go in a settlement and movement, which leads to the cracking in your concrete. So what are the symptoms? So the visual examination show regularly spaced cracking. You can see your visually, you can recommend it that if the crack is due to the external or internal. If you are seeing your cracks by using visible eyes, so you can say, and on daily basis, if these cracks are enlarging or if these cracks are getting more and more, so you can say that it is because of externally generated temperature. Also, the spalling at the expansion joint. Spalling is nothing but somewhat you are bursting at expansion joint. If you are finding some of your spalling between these two joints, then you can say these are nothing but externally externally generated cracks. Now, what you can take the preventive measures to these cracks. So generally, the use contraction at expansion joint. You should use the construction. So there are two types of expansion joint. First one is a contraction, second one is a expansion. So you should use the contraction at your expansion joint. There are two effects generally know in case of design of any kind of pavement or any kind of slab. Okay, so provision of reinforcement steel will help to distribute cracks and minimize the size of them. Okay, you can use RC steel. So these are the generally due to the external temperature generated effect, which is nothing but cracking. Generally, the external temperature effect is only leads to the movement and settlement of your concrete, which directly leads to the big cracks, which are can be shown by your naked eyes. Okay, so next one is nothing but a fire on concrete. This is a third effect. You can say a fire in concrete structure causes damage, the extent of which depends upon the intensity and duration of the fire. So what are the intensity of that fire? It is very low or it is very high. And what is duration of it is minimum or it is much more than your 24 hour. You can say it is depend upon directly the duration of your fire. So we'll see the principal types of damage are. So there are reduction in strength of concrete, cracking and spalling of concrete, deflection and deformation of your structural member, and discolorization. In RC structure, fire resistance is depend upon the type of concrete and thickness of our cover. Okay, so the fire introduce higher temperature gradient and the result of it surface layer tends to separate and spall from the surface. It means spall means it's nothing but burst from the your surface. So you can say that is nothing but fire cracking. Crack due to the fire. The heating of reinforcement expand both laterally and longitudinally, resulting in loss of bonds and loss of strength of reinforcement. If concrete subjected to above 300 degrees centigrade, definite loss of strength take place. Loss of strength means which loss? Compressive loss is also there and tensile loss will be also there. As soon as you are providing more clear cover in case of your concrete and reinforcement steel. As per IS 456-2000, you should provide minimum cover up to 30 mm, 50 mm, 25 mm for beam, 15 mm for slab, and for column 40 mm, and for footing 50 mm. Why is this so? Because if fire is there on your concrete, it can directly not reach up to the reinforcement zone. Why? If that fire is reach up to the reinforcement zone, then directly there will be the loss of not only the compressive loss of strength, but also the tensile loss of this strength will also leads to the big cracking and big deterioration of your concrete. Maybe complete collapsing is also take place if fire is on a concrete for a more duration and having a more intensity. You can say that. Okay. So this is due to the fire. So abrasion and erosion. What is meant by abrasion? Continuously wear and tearing subjected to a portion, that is nothing but abrasion. So abrasion should not be more. If you are resist this abrasion, you can say generally the abrasion part is generally happen in case of your road pavement structure. Leads to the continuously, if you are saying the continuously vehicles are passing through that bridge or through that road, continuously generated the wearing and tearing to the surface of your concrete. This should not happen, because this will directly leads to the damage or deteriorate your structure, or erosion can be take place from the surface of your pavement. Okay, the abrasion refer to the wearing away of the surface by the friction. Okay, erosion refer to the wearing away of the surface by the fluids. Cavitation refers to the damage due to the non-linear flow of water. If you are not having any slope, if you have not given any slope to your road or your bridge or your pavement structure, so the continuously ponding will be there, and that pond there will be container water, so that will generate a cavity to your road surface. So this should not happen in case of your road pavement. Okay, because this will directly deteriorate to your concrete. Now the next one is the concrete used in the road, floor and the pavement, and the concrete used in the hydraulic structure should exhibit the resistance against abrasion, erosion and cavitation. So this point is very important. So remember this point while construction of road or floors or pavement. This type of floor, it is not our tiling floor. This type of floors are generally used in a manufacturer company. These are nothing but your trimix floor. You will need to use this floor as a trimix floor. If you have seen any types of structure which is having which are nothing but a manufacturing big company, which is subjected to the heavy machinery foundation, and heavy machinery foundation is never going to rest on your tiles purpose. If you have seen any factory, there is no type of tiles is there. There is only a trimix floor you will need to provide in case of big manufacturing company. So that type of floors are nothing but a concrete floor, or you can say the trimix floor. Okay. And the pavement concrete used in the hydraulic structure should exhibit the resistance. It should resist the abrasion effect, erosion and cavitation. Okay. The more the compressive strain, the higher the resistance to the abrasion and erosion and cavitation. Compressive strain is more if you are, as we are constructing our floor or slab or floors or roads by using a concrete structural member. So compressive strength is more, it can directly resist your abrasion. Okay. And always remember, resistance to wear and tear is nothing but abrasion. Resistance to wear and tear is nothing but abrasion. Abrasion is nothing but one of the tests you will need to perform in your final year, which is subjected to the aggregate. Generally, abrasion is founded by the in Los Angeles. Hence, this test is known as Los Angeles abrasion test on a course aggregate. This is just an extra example I am giving you. No need to remember. Okay. The shape and the surface texture of an aggregate plays an important part in abrasion resistance of the concrete. shape and surface texture of aggregate. Generally, the abrasion test we have seen in our unit number 3, which is nothing but different test on your aggregate. So there are the impact test on your aggregate and Los Angeles aberration test, as well as specific gravity of our coarse aggregate, and also the fineness modulus of our coarse aggregate. We have seen in our practical point of view, we have seen with a specific gravity and fineness modulus generally, and also we have seen one more experiment which is generally related to shape and texture, or you can say the size of your aggregate, which is nothing but elongation and flakiness index. I hope you are remembering this practical. If not remembering, अगर याद आता है तो अच्छा है, नहीं याद आता तो फिर और अच्छा है ना. So the shape and the surface texture of aggregate plays an important role in abrasion resistance of the concrete. Use of steel fiber and polymer based system is concrete matrix improves the abrasion and resistance to the concrete. You can use the polymer concrete. Polymer concrete is one of the special type of concrete. Special type of concrete is not a nominal concrete or a regular concrete. It is a special type of concrete. What are the different special type of concrete? नहीं पता मैडम, हम थे ही लेक्चर में. ठीक है. Chemical causes. The chemical reaction on the concrete may be classified as those that occur the result of external chemicals attacking the concrete. Generally, the chemical causes are acid attack, aggressive water attack, sulfate attack, or those that occur as a result of internal chemical reactions between the constituents of your concrete. Alkali silica reaction, alkali carbonate reaction, alkali aggregate reaction is also there, alkali or sulfate reaction is also there, you can say. Generally, these types of chemical causes is only occur in case of your overseas structural member. Overseas structural member is nothing but your bridge having piers or the abutments, you can say, or you can say different types of your pedestal is also your chemical cause. Generally, the overseas structure or your overseas structure are generally treated as a chemical causes, which is generally lead to deteriorate your concrete surface. So, which type of cement you can use in case of overseas construction of your bridge, or overseas, or you can say the construction of your dam? Which type of cement you can use? You can use a low heat cement. Okay, so remember this basic thing. So now one by one we will see the carbonation attack on the concrete. This is mainly due to the reaction of carbon dioxide with the hydrated cement. Carbonation is the effect of carbon dioxide in the air of cement product, mainly the hydroxide in the presence of moisture. Okay, no need to remember this what is the reaction, no need to remember this reaction. You can directly read only the theoretical part, but as far as your syllabus point of view, you are generally need to write down the what are the chemical effect, acid attack, carbonation, alkali aggregate reaction. Okay, so just remember the alkali aggregate reaction. We will see in this slide later. So this is generally the carbonate attack on the concrete. So I am reading the last paragraph. This is due to the reaction between the water and carbon dioxide forms carbonic acid, which allows to steel to corrode. Okay, the corrosion product occupies much greater volume than original metal, which results the surrounding concrete to the burst. Directly with the help of carbonation effect, if there is a carbonation effect that is there on your concrete surface, and if you have the design error or construction error is there, so directly that concrete part will get burst, and big of collapse can be happen of your bridge or overseas structure. So what are the different influence factor in case of your carbonation effect? The rate at which carbonation reaches the reinforcement is depend on the following factor. First one is the time. Rate decreases, which increases the time of exposure to the air. Okay, cover to the reinforcement. The greater cover should be provided, the better the protection afforded to the steel. So always remember, in case of overseas structure, in case of construction of piers or abutment, you should provide the greater cover, so that the cover is nothing but a clear cover. Clear cover means what? It is the distance between external surface of your concrete to the external surface, or you can say the bottom or the outer periphery surface of your steel. That is nothing but that distance is known as the cover. pier and abutment is subjected to the cover up to 80 mm or more than that, depend upon your design or construction type technique. Now the concentration of CO2 is in the atmosphere. Rate increases with increasing of CO2 in the air. Alkali content in the concrete. These are the influence factor we are seeing. This depends upon the cement content and type of cement. The next one is the permeability of concrete. Depends upon the concrete quality. Your concrete should be dense. There should not be any void should be there, because if there is any void, then definitely water will find the way. वाटर एक ऐसी चीज है जो कहीं पे भी अपना स्थान ले सकती है. ओके, so concrete of good quality usually carbonates very slowly. Carbonation reduced due to the reduced moisture content and reducing the concentration of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. So this should not happen. Otherwise, carbonation effect will lead to the direct collapse to your structure. Okay, so sulfate attack on the concrete. The sulfate are found in the most in the soil, and the calcium, potassium, sodium, magnesium sulfates. There are how many types of sulfate? Calcium sulfate, potassium, sodium, and magnesium. Solid salt do not attack concrete, but when present in the solution, they can react with the hardened cement paste. Sulfates are present in seawater. I am telling you, carbonation, sulfates, acid attacks generally occur in a seawater. Hence, it is major problem. Deterioration problem is a major in case of oversea structure. Industrial influent and some of the groundwater structure. If you are dealing with underlying pile, or you are dealing with a pile foundation, in that case also soil water is there, and if water find a way in that pile foundation, there will be the different types of acid attack, you can say, or carbonation effect can be deteriorate your concrete structure. Sulfate reaction is depend upon the following parameters. Number one is nothing but a concentration of sulfate ions, cations present in a sulfate reaction, C3A content of a cement, density, permeability of a concrete. These are generally the sulfate reaction. So what are the chemical mechanism we will see? This is mainly due to the chemical reactions between sulfate and the hydration products. The hydration products is always there in case of your concrete, because concrete is made up of your cement, and cement is having leads to the heat of hydration as soon as we insert water into your paste. Okay. Sulfate converts calcium hydroxide in the large volume of calcium sulfate by using this reaction. Remember this reaction in case of any overseas structure, this type of reaction is always there. Okay. The second hydration product, tricalcium aluminates. I hope you are remembering. Tricalcium aluminates is nothing but a Bogies compound. Okay. Bogies compound, tricalcium aluminates. What is it leads for? It is directly relate to the setting time as well as your strength of a cement type of purpose. Okay, with the sulfate solution to form a sulfo-aluminates hydrates, which has greater volume than that of the original compound. Due to this internal stress is generated greater enough to cause the deformation, cracking, and eventually loss of the cohesion. When concrete cracks, its permeability increases and the aggressive water penetrates more easily into the interior part of your structure. Thus, accelerating of the process leads to the deterioration of your concrete surface. So likewise, we have seen the chemical attack, sulfate attack, carbonation effect. What are the different factors which are influence your carbon what influence your carbonation attack? So these are nothing but different deterioration causes which generally occur in case of your concrete. After structure has been completely developed, still also we will need to inspect that pier or abutment after years and years, 2 years, 3 years. You will need to inspect your structural elements so that any deterioration should not be happen. And if there is any deterioration, you should able to repair that deterioration part by using some different techniques. Okay, so this is about your unit number 6. I hope you are getting this. If you are having any difficulty, you can ask